before getting pre-qualified.
Uno, dos.
What's up guys, it's Ava and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been talking a lot on this channel about giving more financial advice, unwarranted financial advice, but nonetheless, it is going to be great advice. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys 15 tips to know before buying your very first property. I owned my very first property for a couple years before selling it, making a profit on my very first property. None of my family had purchased a home before, so I didn't have anyone to really go to for real estate advice. I just felt like I would share this info with you, people that watch my YouTube channel that just want to know the tea on buying their first home. So without further ado, give this video a big thumbs up, and it really helps me a lot. And if you want some more financial videos, let's do it, girl. Let's do it. The first tip, there are going to be a lot of people with their freaking opinions trying to give you advice during this time. There's gonna be a lot of noise around you. Don't cut it out. Be mentally prepared to sift through it. Listen to it, take it in, and then decide if it's background noise or if it's something that's actually something you need to pay attention to. But just know how to filter it. Number 2, do not look at homes before getting pre-qualified. Listen to me. We all love going to Zillow, putting in a price, putting in a location that we don't even live in, and just scrolling and looking at homes. So what a pre-qualification is a guarantee from a bank lender that you are pre-qualified for a loan amount to pay for the house. The problem with that is you are not even going to be able to get in to view a lot of homes without a pre-qualification. Even if you're fully capable of financially affording that home, if you don't have a pre-qualification, there's no way for the selling agent to know any of that about you. And so it's not worth their time to give a tour to a person that's not ready to aggressively act on the home they're selling, when they could be putting that time towards a person that has all of their documents ready to purchase that home today. So get that done. The third tip to buying your first home, make sure you have an agent, not just any agent. I lucked out and I loved my agent. If you do not click, don't make them your real estate agent. Find someone else. And if you don't have an agent that's personable, that's likable, that you get along with, that is not your agent, okay? And your agent is the very first impression the seller's agent is going to get of you. You want an agent that's going to fight for you and say, my client really loves this home. We have availability for 5 minutes, today at 4 p.m. Like, can we get in? So anyway, you don't want an agent that's just like not representing you well. All right, the fourth tip, do not buy a home that you can't afford, okay? If you have a lot of friends that are spending money on a home that you just simply cannot see yourself spending, don't go and think you have to buy a home for that price, okay? Y'all are spending $1 million on a house? Like, what? When it was time for me to buy my first house, I just didn't want to spend $1 million on a house. And so I didn't. Buying a home for me was a super financial win because I was saving money by buying a house versus my friends who were blowing money, putting more money than they ever had into their home. Anyway, which leads me to my fifth point. That is a 10, fifth point. Buy smart. Research your neighborhoods. When I bought my first house, the last thing I was thinking of was how it was going to increase in value. When I told people that I was moving to the Valley and when I was moving to Encino, people generally thought of Encino as the ghetto. 2 years into owning my house in Encino, every possible celebrity and YouTuber on the planet moved to Encino. It opened my eyes to researching neighborhoods, researching upcoming neighborhoods. Buying your first home is whatever you really want it to be. There are so many things that go into making sure the house that you're buying actually has some opportunities to squeeze out some more money than what you're putting in. The neighborhoods, if the home has a rental property on site, if you're willing to convert the garage into like an ADT. Now, these are things that not everyone is going to want to do, but I'm just letting you guys know because they definitely are possibilities to making money to offset your mortgage. It adds a ton of value onto your home. So that's my advice. Just research the neighborhood, make a smart financial decision. Number 6, make a Pinterest board. When you think about all of the things that you want and you need for your house, it is so easy to get caught up in the things that you love about a home, and suddenly you start to forget the things that really matter to you. What the lighting is like in the middle of the day, what the traffic sounds like outside. So what I like to do now when I go and look at homes is I've made a Pinterest board. I have organized that Pinterest board into categories like kitchen, outdoors, bedrooms, closets, all sorts of ways. And so I can go into a home that I'm viewing with my iPad, go to my kitchen Pinterest board, look at the list of things that I require in a kitchen. And if this house does not have those must-haves, I make note of it and I think about if it's something I could potentially add later on. But if it's something really big, like for example, you're gonna have to knock down a wall or you're going to have to build a garage, that will easily tell you if the house is for you or not. Know that there are things that you can change about a house. For example, there's been homes that I've seen where I'm like, oh, everything's great. Like I just want to do a little upgrade to the backyard. I was quoted $20,000 to take the concrete out of my last house in the backyard. And that was like barely any concrete, things like that. What I personally like to do for renovations is like research the price that the internet tells me it's going to be and then like double it. And then that's what I'm expecting to pay. Anyway, you get what I'm saying? Number 8, drive the neighborhoods. Something that I realized after owning my very first home was how important the neighborhood was to me. I love driving a neighborhood. It really gives me a feel of what the house is going to feel like on the inside, how driving home after work is going to feel. And so if my neighborhood doesn't feel relaxing on my way to my house, it's just not a home that I really want to live in. If there's a home that you're interested in, but you're not exactly sure if you want to go see it in person, what I'll do is I'll go on Google Street View and I'll just click on the house, scroll around in like the 360, go up and down the street, and most often than not, I can tell if I even want to go see that house. Drive the neighborhood. Get to know your neighborhood. Number 9, you will know if it is the house. If you are unsure, do not buy. You will walk into a home and I promise you, the second you step foot in the door, it's a feeling that you will have when you have experience. When I first started looking for homes, every house I walked into was like, I could see myself living here and that's where my kitchen's gonna be and that's where that's gonna be. Because you're just excited. Ultimately, it is nobody's decision but your own on what you need to do. So do not purchase a home. It is 100% okay to walk away from something if your gut is telling you no. Just walk away. Which leads me to number 10, do not fall in love with a home until after you've purchased it. I remember when I got my offer accepted, the night that I submitted my offer. I got the phone call. My agent told me, you just bought a house, oh my God, whatever. And I didn't allow myself to ever get excited about purchasing a home until I had the keys to that house. I don't like to get excited over things until they are mine 100%. It just protects you from that let down feeling. So yeah, I guess my advice is just don't fall in love with the house until the keys are in your hand. And last but not least, now that you've heard a lot of my tips on purchasing your first home, I'm going to tell you some tips to know once you own your first home. So the first thing to know, stuff breaks all the time. Owning a home is extremely hard work. I sold my first house. I moved back into an apartment while looking for my next property to buy. And I'm just realizing there is so much about living in an apartment that is really convenient. When you have an apartment, you can call someone if the refrigerator stops working or if the water isn't hot, XYZ. When you own a house, okay, your fence breaks, you need to get a fencing guy. Your pipes are leaking, gotta get someone for that. The whole 9 yards. Be prepared for stuff to start adding up on your to-do list. Owning a house comes with a lot of fixing responsibilities. The next thing is there is no security when you buy a house. You have to install security cameras, make sure that your home is equipped for the dangers of society. Weird people will come to your house. And typically owning a house, you're pretty exposed to people more than you are if you lived in a gated community, an apartment, XYZ. Be prepared for random cars to be parked in front of your house at some times. Just be prepared, okay? Because weird people will come to your house. The number 14 thing to know before buying a property is be aware of your area's natural disasters. Being from California, I have to think about earthquakes, I have to think about certain landslides and forest fires everywhere. I like to look for homes that are on flat ground, surrounded by a lot of other homes, so that if there's a forest fire, I will not be the first home to go. I like to be safe. The last thing that I think is super important to know before buying your first home is go on Postmates. This isn't sponsored. Go on Postmates when you're viewing the home and just look at like what food is around in your area. And alongside of Postmates, just make sure that there's a coffee shop, places to go eat with your friends, grocery stores, stuff like that. And last but not least, I have to give this tip because lighting is so important to me. I actually have an app called Sun Seeker, and what I will do when I go into any property, this app will tell you when the sun is moving, and you can change the timing to be like summer solstice, winter solstice. So no matter what time of year, you can accurately see where the sun will be on that property. And yes, that is all of the tips that I have for buying your very first home. I hope you guys got some really good tips from this video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what other financial videos you guys want me to do for you guys. I have so much knowledge just based on being a young person. So yeah, I've had to learn a lot myself along the way. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like when I do videos like this. And yeah, comment down below what else you want to see. Yeah, good luck on your home buying search. And if you're not looking for a home and you are someday, hope these tips helped you. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week for a new video. Bye guys, happy home buying.
La primera vez que te veía, supe que era la mujer para mí. Nunca tuve ni una duda, no. Y ahora vos tenés mi corazón. Dale, nena, contame lo que te gusta de mí. Dale, nena, mostrame lo que te hace feliz. Por fin.